Good morning, children, and welcome to English class. Today, I'll teach you a lesson from your first flight book. This is lesson 2. The name of the lesson is Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom, written by Nelson Mandela himself. Children, this chapter is an extract from the autobiography of Nelson Mandela, who was the first black president of South Africa. This extract, Long Walk to Freedom, include description of the inauguration ceremony, citation from his speech, his journey to being a freedom fighter, the struggle along with the tribute to other freedom fighters and countless other people who fought for their freedom. In South Africa, a brutal practice named apartheid was followed. Apartheid refers to the discrimination between people on the basis of their skin color. It was one of the most brutal societies where dark-skinned people were deprived of their basic rights. This lesson gives us an overview as to how Nelson Mandela, along with others, carved their way to a society where there will be no discrimination on the basis of their color, caste, race, age, or gender. With this background, now let's move ahead and read the chapter. 10th May dawned bright and clear. For the past few days, I had been pleasantly deceived by dignitaries and world leaders who were coming to pay their respects before the inauguration. The inauguration would be the largest gathering ever of international leaders on South Africa soil. The ceremony took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheater formed by the Union buildings in Pretoria. For decades, this had been the seat of white supremacy, and now it was the site of a rainbow gathering of different colors and nations for the installation of South Africa's first democratic non-racial government. Let us say the difficult word meaning of the paragraph. Here, dawn means began. Pleasantly means giving a sense of happy satisfaction. Deceived means to be surrounded by. Dignitaries means a person considered to be important because of high rank. And sandstone means sedimentary rock consisting of sand or quartz grains cemented together, typically red, yellow, or brown in color. Amphitheater means an open area. Supremacy means the state or condition of being superior to all others in authority, power, or status. So, now I'll give you the explanation of the paragraph. Children, on 10th May was the day when Nelson Mandela shone in as the first black head of state South Africa. It was after years of struggle that his anti-racist party came into power. Until then, the seat had always been occupied by white presidents. That is why the author referred to the day as bright and clear. It was a morning full of hope. Days before this date, many notable personalities started congratulating him for his victory. For the first time in the country's history, so many international leaders came together for their inauguration ceremony. The ceremony took place in an open circular building made of sandstone consisting of Union building in the Pretoria city. Now let's move ahead and read the next paragraph. On that lovely autumn day, I was accompanied by my daughter Zenani. On the podium, Mr. De Klerk was first sworn in as second deputy president. Then Thabo Becky was sworn in as first deputy president. When it was my turn, I pledged to obey and uphold the Constitution and to devote myself to the well-being of the Republic and its people. Here, children, deputy means second in command. Sworn means given under oath, determined to stay in the role specified. Pledge means promise. Here, the author says that he was accompanied by his daughter Zinani on his big day. First, the two vice presidents took an oath. Then, when his turn came, he committed to respect, protect, and abide by the Constitution and to devote his entire self into the welfare of the country. To the assembled guests and the watching world, I said, today all of us do by our presence here confer glory and hope to newborn liberty. Out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud. We who were outlaws not so long ago have today been given the rare privilege to be host to the nations of the world on our own soil. We thank all of our distinguished international guests for having come to take position with the people of our country of what is, after all, a common victory for justice, for peace, for human dignity. Here, let us see the difficult word meaning first. Assembled means gathered together in one place for a common purpose. Confer means grant. Glory means honor. Outlaws means because of its policy of apartheid, many countries had earlier broken off diplomatic relation with South Africa on our own soil means in our own country. Position means ownership. Dignity means the state of quality of being worthy of respect. Children, here the author also mentions some parts of his speech where he said that everyone by his presence was giving rise to hope for a new beginning. Previous rulers were discriminatory and lasted for long, but the ones who are given the opportunity to rule now would stand up against discrimination. He is glad to host a ceremony with the presence of global leaders. It is an achievement in itself. There was a time when South Africa, for practicing apartheid, lost all its international political relationship. Now, when there is no segregation on the basis of race and gender, other nations are happy to have healthy democratic relationship. Finally, they have come to power and they pledged to make everyone proud. He thanked everyone, especially the international leaders, for joining them in celebrating their achievement, which is a step toward an equal society where every human will be treated fairly. We have at last achieved our political emancipation. We pledged ourselves to liberate all our people from the continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, sufferings, gender, and other discrimination. Never, never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another. The sun shall never set on so glorious a human achievement. Let freedom reign. God bless Africa. Here, emancipation means the fact or process of being set free from legal, social, or political restriction. Liberate means free, release. Bondage means the state of being a slave. Discrimination means being treated differently or unfavorably. Deprivation means the damaging lack of material benefits considered to be basic necessities in a society. Oppression means prolonged, cruel, or unjust treatment or exercise of authority. Glorious means having, worthy of, or bringing fame or admiration. Reign means rule, govern. Now, here, what the author says, he says that when he mentions that after great struggle they have finally achieved political freedom, his government promised to free everyone of the still existing poverty, hardship, and inequalities of all kind, along with assuring everyone of a country where no community will be considered inferior. He then exclaims that freedom should rule and may God shower his blessings on their land. Now let's move ahead and read the next paragraph. A few moments later, we all lifted our eyes in awe as a spectacular array of South African jets, helicopters, and troops carriers rode in perfect formation over the Union buildings. It was not only a display of pinpoint precision and military force, but a demonstration of the military's loyalty to democracy, to a new government that had been freely and fairly elected. Only moments before, the highest generals of the South Africa Defence Force and Police, their chests bedecked with ribbons and medals from days gone by, saluted me and pledged their loyalty. I was not unmindful of the fact that not so many years before they would not have saluted but arrested me. Finally, a chevron of Impala jets left a smoke trail of the black, green, red, blue, and gold of the new South Africa flag, African flag. Here, let's see the difficult word meaning. Awe means amazed. Spectacular means beautiful in a dramatic and an eye-catching way. Array means an impressive display. Troop means soldiers or armed forces. Precision means accuracy. Bedecked means decorate. Unmindful means not conscious or aware. Chevron means a pattern in the shape of a V. Trails means series or chain. Here in this paragraph, Nelson Mandela says that just after the newly elected president's addressed to the audience an impressive arrangement of fighter jets, helicopters, and soldiers, transporters raised everyone's head up in the sky. It symbolized perfection as well as military's respect and obedience towards the free country. The high commanders who have won medal for their bravery also saluted and promised their loyalty. Mandela mentions that he was well aware that these commanders who were now saluting him would have arrested him under the previous rule, as during the oppressive white supremacy he was considered to be a criminal. The air show finally ended by making of the South Africa flag in the sky from smoke beneath the jet. Now let's see ahead. The days Now let's read ahead. The day was symbolized for me by the playing of our two national anthem and the vision of white singing Kosi, Sikelel, Ifrek, and black singing Diestem, the old anthem of the Republic. Although that day neither group knew the lyrics of the anthem they once despised, they would soon know the words by heart. Here, symbolized means be a symbol of. Lyrics means the words of a song. Despised means hated, had a very low opinion. So the author remembers the day as the playing of two national anthem of the country, one of the whites and the other that of the blacks. On that day, no one knew the wording of the national anthem of the blacks, but Mandela was confident that everyone would soon learn this anthem that they once hated. On the day of the inauguration, I was overwhelmed with a sense of history. In the first decade of the 20th century, a few years after the bitter Anglo-Boer War and before my own birth, the white-skinned people of South Africa patched up their differences and erected a system of racial domination against the dark-skinned peoples of their own land. The structure they created formed the basic of one of the harshest, most inhuman societies the world has ever known. Now, in the last decades of the 20th century and my own 8th decade as a man, that system had been overturned forever and replaced by one that recognized the rights and freedom of all people, regardless of the color of their skin. Let me give you the difficult word meaning first. Here, overwhelm means have a strong emotional effect. Erected means build, construct. Racial domination means when people of one race have power over another race. Inhuman means cruel, brutal. Overturn means reverse. So, what happened? One day, the day of the inaugural ceremony, the author was remembering the days of past when this whole system of apartheid emerged. It resulted in equality and inferior treatment of dark skinned people. They were deprived of their basic fundamentals right. As a result, one of the world's most brutal and inhuman society was born. This began ever before he was born. This system created an atmosphere of extreme cruelty and injustice for a particular part of the community. Now, when he is in 8 decades as a man, he along with countless others have changed this entire system that treats humans as humans irrespective of their color, caste, gender or age. Now let's see ahead. That day had come about through the unimaginable sacrifices of thousands of my people whose sufferings and courage can never be counted or repaid. I felt that day, as I have on so many other days, that I was simply the sum of all those African patriots who had gone before me. That long and noble line ended and now began again with me. I was pained that I was not able to thank them and that they were not able to see what their sacrifices had brought. Let's see the difficult word meaning. Unimaginable means difficult or impossible to imagine. Patriots means a person who vigorously supports their country and is prepared to defend it against enemies. So in this paragraph, the author says that this equal and free country was a result of sacrifices of countless other men and women who have fought all their lives for this day. The author wishes if he could thank them all, but unfortunately they didn't live to see the result of their courage. Nelson Mandela gathered his courage and power from all these people and thus wishes to make them proud. Now in the next paragraph, let's see. The policy of apartheid created a deep and lasting wound in my country and my people. All of us will spend many years, if not generation, recovering from that profound hurt. But the decades of oppression and brutality had another unintended effect, and that was that it produced the Oliver Tombers, the Walter Sislers, the Chief Luthilus, the Yusuf Dadus, the Bram Fissers, the Roberts Sobers of our time. Men of such extraordinary courage, wisdom, and generosity that their like may never be known again. Perhaps it requires such depth of oppression to create such height of character. My country is rich in the minerals and gems that lie beneath its soil, but I have always known that its greatest wealth is its people, finer and truer than the purest diamond. Let's see the difficult word meaning of this paragraph. Here, apartheid means a policy or system of segregation on ground of race. Profound means very great or intense. Unintended means not planned. Here, the oppression policy scared many people, and it will take a long time for them to move on. The author mentions that this hard time had its negative impacts, but it also exposed a lots of strong and courageous men who stood up and raised their voice. Thus, it required that level of unjust treatment to produce such great heroes. South Africa, he says, is rich in minerals and gems, but its greatest strength lies in its people. It is from these comrades in the struggle that I learned the meaning of courage. Time and again, I have seen men and women risk and give their lives for an idea. I have seen men stand up to attack and torture without breaking, showing a strength and resilience that defies the imagination. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Let's see the word meaning. Comrade means a colleague or a fellow member of an organization. Resilience means the ability to deal with any kind of hardship and recover from its effects. Defies means refuse to obey. Triumph means great victory or achievement. Here, Nelson Mandela gained his strength to stand against the wrong from all the great nationalists he mentioned above, who have even risked their lives for freedom and tolerated ill treatment, but never stopped fighting. He learned that courage didn't mean the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome fear. The man who overcomes his fear is called brave. No one is born hating another person because of the color of skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. Even in the grimmiest times in prison, when my comrades and I were pushed to our limits, I would see a glimmer of humanity in one of the guards, perhaps just for a second, but it was enough to reassure me and keep me going. Man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never extinguished. Here, grimmest means very serious or gloomy. Glimmer means shine faintly with the wavering lights. Push to our limit means push to the last point in our ability to bear pain. Reassure means say or do something to remove the doubts. So here the author says that one is the tough by its society to hate human because of their skin color, age, gender and religion. No one is inborn with hatred. The author's idea is that if people can be taught hatred, they can also be taught love and brotherhood. In their most testing times in prison, when they were being treated brutally, Mandela would see a pinch of humanity and kindness in one of the guards, and that was enough to keep him going. He believes that goodness in human beings can be suppressed but never eliminated. In life, every man has twin obligation to his family, to his parents, to his wife and children, and he has an obligation to his people, his community, his country. In a civil and humane society, each man is able to fulfill those obligations according to his own inclination and abilities. But in a country like South Africa, it was almost impossible for a man of my birth and color to fulfill both of those obligations. In South Africa, a man of color who attempted to live as a human being was punished and isolated. In South Africa, a man who tried to fulfill his duty to his people was inevitably ripped from his family and his home and was forced to live a life apart, a twilight existence of secrecy and rebellion. I did not in the beginning choose to place my people above my family, but in attempting to serve my people, I found that I was prevented from fulfilling my obligation as a son, a brother, a father, and a husband. So now let's see the difficult word meaning of this paragraph. Here, obligation means a duty or a commitment. Civil means courteous and polite. Inclination means natural tendencies of behavior. Inevitably means unavoidably. Twilight means half light, semi darkness. Secrecy means the action of keeping something secret. Rebellion means the action of process of resisting authority. Here, according to the author, every human being has its responsibility towards the family and as well as the society. Generally, under normal circumstances, a person can maintain the balance between the two. But in countries like South Africa, it was never so easy. When a person of color would come up for his society, he would be arrested and taken away from his family, thus keeping them from fulfilling both responsibility. In the beginning, Mandela did not put his people over his family, but it was only later when he realized that in order to be there for his people, he was compromising his duties towards his own family. I was not born with a hunger to be free. I was born free. Free in every way that I could know. Free to run in the fields near my mother's hut, free to swim in the clear stream that ran through my village, free to roast maize under the stars and ride the broad backs of slow moving bulls. As long as I obeyed my father and abided by the customs of my tribe, I was not troubled by the laws of man or God. It was only when I began to learn that my boyhood freedom was an illusion, when I discovered as a young man that my freedom had already been taken from me, that I began to hunger for it. At first, as a student, I wanted freedom only for myself, the transitory freedom of being able to stay out at night, read what I pleased, and go where I chose. Later, as a young man in Johannesburg, I yearned for the basic and honorable freedoms of achieving my potential, of earning my keep, of marrying and having a family, the freedom not to be obstructed in a lawful life. Let us see the difficult word meaning first. Here, stream means a small narrow river. Malice means a maize plant. Abided means obeyed. Boyhood means the state or time of being a boy. Illusion means a false idea or belief. Transitory means not permanent. Yearned means have an intense feeling or longing for something. Here, the author did not have the plan to stand against the apartheid system early in life. He lived his childhood like any normal child in South Africa. He only had to follow the rules set up by his father or the customs of his tribe. As soon as he grew up and began to learn the facts as to how people of color are treated, he decided to stand against it. He had this urge for freedom from inside earlier just for himself, and later for having a basic life not just for himself but for everyone. In Johnsonburg, they had to struggle for having a peaceful marriage, family, and basic amenities which everyone has access to, where law and order exist. But then I slowly saw that not only was I not free, but my brothers and sisters were not free. I saw that it was not just my freedom that was curtained, but the freedom of everyone who looked like I did. That is when I joined the African National Congress, and that is when the hunger for my own freedom became the greater hunger for the freedom of my people. It was the desire for the freedom of my people to live their lives with dignity and self-respect that animated my life, that transformed a frightening young man into a bold one, that drove a law-abiding attorney to become a criminal, that turned family-loving husband into a man without a home, that forced a life-loving man to live like a monk. I am no more virtuous or self-sacrificing than the next man, but I found that I could not enjoy the poor and limited freedom I was allowed. When I knew my people were not free, freedom is indivisible. The chains or any one of my people were the chains on all of them. The chain of all my people were the chains on me. Now let's see the difficult word meaning of this paragraph. Curtain means reduced. Dignity means the state of quality of being worthy of honor or respect. Frightened means afraid. Monk means a member of a religious community of men typically living under vows of poverty and obedience. Virtuous means having or showing high moral standards. Indivisible means unable to be divided or separated. Here, Nelson Mandela joined the African National Congress when he realized it is not only him whose basic rights were snatched away, but of all those who looked like him. He had this fire inside him to free his people from the injustice. It was this fire that changed the other completely as a man, from being scared to brave, a lawyer to the one breaking the law, a family man to a man without a home, and a lively man into being a monk. It was the knowledge that he and his people have restricted freedom that made him into a selfless man as opposed to before. According to him, freedom cannot be divided. Snatching it away from someone was equivalent to taking it away from everyone, and that meant taking it away from the author. I knew that the oppressor must be liberated just as surely as the oppressed. A man who takes away another man's freedom is a prisoner of hatred. He is locked behind the bars of prejudice and narrow mindedness. I am not truly free if I am taking away someone else's freedom, just as surely as I am not free when my freedom is taken from me. The oppressed and the oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity. Here, prejudice means a strong dislike without any good reason. Here in this paragraph, Nelson Mandela mentions that the need to be free, the oppressor is as high as that of the oppressed, because the oppressor is bounded by the shackles of hatred. He has the weight of all the people who he has tormented, for he carries the curses of all their families. For taking away someone else's freedom and making them a prisoner, he becomes a prisoner of biasness. Thus, he is robbed of his humanity and need to be freed. So this was the complete explanation of the chapter. Hope you all would have understood the chapter well. We'll meet with some other story in the next class. Till then, keep revising the course and stay safe. Thank you.